Hello everyone and welcome to The Right Handbag. If you're new here, my name is Melissa and my channel is dedicated to helping you find the right handbag. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you and my subscribers and the nice things they say in the comments and their insightful tips and recommendations. I appreciate you so much. And I'm trying to build this channel up, so if you have seen this video and like it, or if you've seen others and you think, hey, she has some good points, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell as I'm trying to build my channel. So today we're going to be talking about buying pre-loved bags. There's a lot of misconceptions or misunderstandings about pre-loved bags, and there are things you need to know before you buy them. And I've talked about pre-loved buying strategies. I'll link to that video below and at the end of the video. But this one is about why it's okay to buy pre-loved and some things that I think you should know. And I'm going to start off with the one question I'm asked the most, and that's, how do you know the bag is real? So I will say this, I don't care if it's a little SLG or a big bag or whatever it is, everything I get is authenticated. I make sure it's authenticated when I buy it. Now, there's a few ways that you can do this. If someone has a bag for sale, you can ask them for the appropriate pictures and have it authenticated before you even buy it. I use legit grails, so I recommend you get an account, log in, and see the things that they ask for. And then you could submit the pictures ahead of time of the bag. Sometimes there's enough pictures of the bag on websites where you can take them and submit it to legit grails and see if it's legit. But legit grails often comes back and says, I need another picture of this, of this, of this, of this. So they're very particular, but you get a good result from them. So you can always do it ahead of time, or you can do it after you buy. The problem with getting it authenticated after you buy is if you buy something from someone that says final sale, you cannot return it. So there's something to keep in mind. Unless they have something on their site that says, if this is not authentic, we'll return your money. That's important to know too. I tend to buy from reseller boutiques that authenticate. So it will say you will get an authenticity agreement from this company or that company. My recommendation is to research the authentication companies they use and make sure that they have good reviews. There are a few, like there are Facebook groups where you can buy bags. I have seen an unbelievable amount of fake bags in those groups. And people say, well, I got it authenticated from this company on Facebook through a message. And I don't trust that as much. Sorry, I want to have it authenticated by a company that specializes in authentication. So you can always get a bag authenticated. You can always buy from a reseller that authenticates. And I think that's critical if you want to do, jump into the pre-loved market, which I have done a lot and I enjoy. And I have, knock on wood, not had an issue so far, although I'm extremely particular and careful. So let that be point number one, authenticate or buy from someone that authenticates from a trusted company. So that's just where I want to start out this whole thing. Again, I use legit grails exclusively for my authentication. They do not pay me. I do not have a deal with them. I do not get a discount from them unless one comes in an email. And they always send it out after I've paid to authenticate. But I do prefer them over others. All right, so let's look at some of the preconceived notions that are out there that are wrong. A lot of people are like, well, I want to buy new because the rich buy new and you want to look rich by carrying new, and no one knows if your bag is new. Nobody knows. Only you know. Now, if you buy one that's been, look like it's been dragged through the river and along the street, then yeah, people are going to think that one's probably not very new. But if you buy a preload bag in good condition, no one's going to know if it's new or not. And I know a lot of rich people who buy on the pre-loved market and love their bags. They're looking for things that they didn't get in the past that they missed, and they shop around and find things. I'm going to look at my notes here because I have a lot. People that really love handbags, you can't buy them all, and then you have regrets, and you might buy something and go, I don't like it, I'm going to sell that one. I'm going to go back and find that bag that I really loved that time, and I'd buy it. That's what people do. So it's not a bad thing to buy on the pre-loved market. It's no different than buying a car. In my last job, we talked about it's like the drive off the lot fee. The car is X amount of price, and as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's $8,000 or $9,000 or $10,000 less, or even more depending on the manufacturer. With handbags, the second you step out of that store and you take the stickers and everything off and you use it, it is automatically worth less, period. That price will vary depending on brand or the particular bag. But if you buy it in the store and you walk out, you're losing money. End of story. Now, there are those, there's Hermes and there's special edition bags which go up in price, but that often takes years to achieve. So, in the majority of cases, you're losing money when you walk out the door. That's something to keep in mind. More importantly, you want to buy something you love, that you adore looking at. And I do buy from the store. I buy new, but I buy a lot of pre-loved because that's where the items I truly love are sitting and the ones that I want. All right, so let's move on to the next point. The most important point to me, you save money. I love saving money. Let's go back to the car comparison. You can buy a car with 500 miles on it that somebody had to return for whatever reason and save $8,000 on the car. I'm fine with the 500 miles. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I'm fine with it if it saves me $8,000. You can go on the pre-loved market, and today I saw a bag that was released 2 months ago that is already $550 off the price that it is in the boutique, and it's still in the boutique at Louis Vuitton. I like saving $550. Someone bought that bag. They decided they didn't use it. It couldn't have been used that much. It's only been 2 months and you had to wait to get yours. So why not go save the $550? Right? And if it's a boutique you can trust that ships, maybe they don't charge tax in your state, then you save on the tax. There's a lot of issues to consider. But you can save from what I have seen studying the pre-loved market, up to $4,000 on a bag. $500 to $4,000. That's a lot of money. That's a whole nother bag of money. So saving money just makes sense. There's nothing wrong. And I recently helped someone look at a bag they wanted to buy from Louis Vuitton. They insisted they must have new. And that's fine. I totally get it. But they bought a bag, and I have no issue with canvas bags. I have canvas bags everywhere. But they could have bought a beautiful leather bag for the same price that they paid for a very small canvas bag. And not that there was anything wrong with that particular canvas bag, but the one that I showed them on the pre-loved market was so much nicer. But they went with canvas. They paid more for that in the end than they would have for the very nice leather bag. And that's anybody's choice. Okay, I have canvas. Obviously, I like them. They hold up well. They hold up for a long time. But for this occasion, and I thought it made sense to go the other way, but they went with the canvas, and that's fine. If you're looking for high quality items, you gotta weigh that. What are you looking for? The Louis Vuitton canvas is famous and popular for a reason. People love it. But if it was a special occasion, I probably would have gone with the leather, but that's just me. So the other issue with saving money is you buy something you can afford and you get a really great product for it. Because sometimes people are like, I love the one at Louis Vuitton, but it's just a bit much. It's $500 or $600 or $800 more than I wanted to spend. We can go on the pre-loved market and save that money and get the item for the price that you want. Sometimes you have to be patient. Sometimes you have to wait, and that's fine. I recently got a bag that I had to wait 9 months to find the price for. So that's just teaching yourself to be patient and waiting. And then who doesn't love a deal, right? I think everybody loves a deal. So I have, as I said, another video, strategies for saving money. I will say it again. Sign up for the boutique newsletters. I know that it's another email in your email account, but they send out coupons and deals before anybody knows them, or nobody else knows they're there and only you do, and you can save 20% on a bag. That's massive amounts of money. So sign up for that. Check out that other video. I break down how to save money, but you save a lot of money buying pre-loved. So let's move on to point number 3. You get to be picky. Something else I talk about in that video is studying the bag, knowing the issues with the bag. And sometimes there's an alignment issue or whatever issue there may be. And if you study the bag and see the common problems that people had with the bag, when you're looking at it on the pre-loved market, you get to see pictures of everything. And you get to study the bag and go, yes, that one. I want that one because it has this. Or I don't want that one because of whatever it may be. You get to be very picky. You get to know about the bag's history. You get to have a review of how it worked. And when people do a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month review, 2-year review, you can go, that one held up really well. And I'm going to go ahead and get it because I've studied this bag and I can see it on the website and it's in great shape. So sometimes when you buy new of anything, there's a glitch or a problem that people are not aware of until people have had the bag or the car or the appliance for X amount of time, and then a problem arises. So you get to go, okay, well, this particular item didn't have a problem. I get to see all of the pictures on the website because the websites often show you tons and tons and tons of pictures, and you can contact them and say, I need more pictures of this edging, or this, I need to see if there's wear on the corners, whatever it may be. They'll send them to you, and then you get to know if it's in good shape. So that's another bonus to being, buying pre-loved. So let's move on to another point I have here for you. And I've kind of already addressed it. When you are careful with buying on the pre-loved market and you are patient, then this isn't the case in all. Again, I study the bags. I know, for example, I'm going to take my Monogram Speedy 20. I wanted that bag very, very badly. The prices were always around the $2,000 to $2,200 mark. I didn't want to spend that much on it, so I waited and I waited and I waited. And I had saved in my spreadsheet the sites that had the ones that I liked as far as the alignment of the canvas on the bottom. I have a video on that. I'll link to that below. And I waited. And Yugi's Closet on Mother's Day sent out a 20% off coupon. And I got that bag for $600 under all the other prices that were listed out there. Because they had the bag for a while, so they'd lowered the price, and then they took another 20% off. When you are patient and you wait like that, you have a better shot at selling the bag later and getting your complete money back, or even making a profit. Right? So I got that bag for in the $1,600 range. That bag on the market right now is $2,200 to $2,400. I will always be able to get my money back on that bag. Of course, the world could fall apart and then I wouldn't, but you see my point. If things remained normal, I could get my money back on that one. And I like buying a bag at a price where I know I can resell and get the money back. When I buy new, that's a very rare. So I'm very careful with what I buy pre-loved, but I always know I can get my money back or more for that item. The only exclusion to that with the new items from Louis Vuitton is pocket organizers and wallets, collector pieces and rare pieces. We can often get our money back on that and even make a little more money if we wanted to. So that's one really huge pro to buying on the pre-loved market. I like being able to get my money back completely. All right, so my last little thing to just mention here is you get to help someone else in need. I don't know who who's watching this, where you're watching it from, but in the United States, a lot of people are losing jobs. A lot of people, no matter what is reported. There's a lot of job losses and a lot of layoffs, and people are selling items left and right to make ends meet. It's hard to get a job right now. So when you have someone who needs the money, you're helping them out. And that's fantastic. Let's help out anybody we can. I'm not saying go spend a lot of money because you want to help out someone, but I'm just saying some people need to sell items and you can help them out, and that's a bonus. Again, authenticate, buy from people you trust, be careful, but don't be afraid of it. So those are the main points I wanted to make about buying on the pre-loved market. Don't be afraid to do it. Do your homework. But I love it because I save money. And I love it because I can be picky about the bags. You can walk into a boutique and get a brand new bag and look at it, and it may be in your mind flawless, but sometimes it's not. And you didn't get to be picky. Of course, you can always return it. But it's just a pain to do so. And my last point I want to make is the items that I've got on the pre-loved market last year and now this year, I absolutely love. I love them. I love them more than any bag or item that is for sale new today. And I don't want to buy anything unless I get that feeling when I hold it in my hand that I love it. So that's it for me. I would love to have your thoughts below on your thoughts on the pre-loved market, your concerns about the pre-loved market. And, you know, maybe you've had a bad experience. I'd love to know what it was. Maybe you've had good experiences. Let me know below what you think. And this video isn't this is a safe way to do, you know, handbag buying. I cannot be overly careful for you. You have to be careful. But I'm not afraid to buy on the pre-loved market because I've studied it well. And that's my recommendation, my final recommendation. Don't do it until you've studied it and you've understood it. And but don't be afraid of it either. Reach out to friends, ask them for advice and opinions. Find some authenticators that you have in your back pocket. I'm going to go back to Legit Grails one more time. You can pay more and have them authenticate very quickly, or you can pay less and wait like 12 hours. I like that when I need it fast, I can get it fast. And it's worth the money. You're going to spend a lot of money on a luxury handbag. You want to know that it's authentic. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. And again, please like and subscribe. And I hope I see you in the next video. Bye.